Hello everyone, welcome to the busy webinar. Today the subject is advanced design invoice designing and myself Suraj. So hope all of you are doing well. And before this presentation, we will see the PPT overview. After that, we will see the practical demonstration about how to design the invoice format in busy. What are the configurations that we need to do here, and what are the tools available, utilities available, and fields available for that. That is we are going to discuss for today's webinar topic. So carefully listen the subject, listen the webinar. So end of this webinar, we have the Q&A session. So if you have any kind of query or any questions, kindly put a message in Q&A chat box. Thank you. Let us begin the session. We know that advanced designing, we know the invoice. So invoice is nothing but it is a bill copy or it is a bill. And it is an important written document that indicates the sale or supply of one business to another business or consumer. It contains the various information like sales transaction details, buyer details, item information, signatory details, bank information, terms and conditions, payment terms, etc. So this is called as invoice. And what is the informations that should contains in our invoice? The first thing is invoice type and invoice copy. Which type of invoice it is? Sales invoice, tax invoice, delivery challan. So which type of invoice it is, that type will be printed into your invoice copy. Other than that, we have invoice copy details, whether it is a first copy that is called original copy, or duplicate copy, or triplicate copy, or quadruplicate copy. These contents, it should be available in invoice copy. Other than this, name and address, contact details, and GSTN of the supplier as well as seller, it is also available. It is also printed into our invoice. Also, invoice number and date, it will be there. Name and address, contact details, GSTN of the buyer or customer, if it is registered under GST, and then GST number also printed on into that invoice copy. Other than that, we have delivery address in case it is not the same as the place of supply. Suppose the billing address as well as delivery address both should be different. That scenario, the delivery address also printed into that invoice copy. Description, unit, quantity of goods or services, price, discount, and total amount of goods and services, tax rate and amount of CGST, SGST, IGST, UTGST, and it should be printed as separate column. If you require to print it as separate column, that should be available. And these are the informations. But other than this, we have the signatory details as well. So these are the important informations that is printed into your invoice copy. Invoice format in busy. In busy, we have two types of invoice formats: standard invoice formats as well as advanced invoice format. Standard invoice format, it is a default invoice format, inbuilt format that available in busy by default. If you require any kind of configuration, that is called basic configuration, like company header, company details, any kind of page alignments, or any kind of like address information, terms and condition, bank details, anything it may be. This type of basic information you should configure using this standard invoice. But advanced invoice, this is our today's subject, advanced invoice. The advanced configuration option allows you to customize the documents such as invoices or any other documents like accounting related vouchers, etc., to include more advanced feature and design elements as per your needs. This utility will help you to design the elements as per your needs. So it provides you with greater control over the document design. With example, you can choose the data field, whatever the field you required. For example, you required QR code, or you required any kind of like payment QR code or any bank details, such as, or you want any kind of like advanced customization, you can do it for your advanced designing, but it is not possible in standard invoicing format. Here we have the various type of data field, print style, lines, etc. So different types of fonts available, coloring option is available in advanced invoice. So these are the different types of utilities that is available in the advanced invoice. So advanced invoice, we can configure the documents for more advanced features and design the full documents or invoices as per our requirement. But in standard invoice, full design is customization is not possible. There we have the option to customize or configure the certain basic things. But in advance is not like that. You can design the full customization of any single invoice. Okay. Using the advanced configuration option, you can take document designing in higher level. For example, you can select the data field to be displayed in the document, or you can decide whether the text should be appear bold or italic or underline or anything it may be. So there are many other designing features are available, and it comes with the advanced designing tool. Going forward, let us see the configurations of the advanced designing, advanced invoicing. Here, this type of screen will appear in your configuration menu, and you have the option to create the format name. Right side, we have the add format option. You can create n number of invoice designs. So after adding the format, you have the option to modify the name, page settings menu, header setup, subheader setup, body, footer, etc. So normally the advanced designing, it will having the two types of documents. Normally the accounting vouchers as well as dual vouchers. So left side, as you seen on my screen, there will be sale invoice, purchase invoice, payment advice, etc. A lot of documents are there. But normally we are categorized that documents in two types. One is accounting vouchers, another is dual vouchers. The accounting voucher is like sale invoice, payment advice, received, debit note, credit note, etc. But inventory, that is called dual vouchers, are sale invoice, purchase invoice, and material issue, material received. These are called as dual vouchers because here the inventory details are captured. Inventory as well as accounting details are captured in dual mode. But in accounting voucher side, only the accounting details should be captured. It should be captured. So here, these are the different types of design document formats that should be available. Based on the requirement, you can design the format. So you can create the format and number of format here. So other than this, we have the three sections in dual vouchers, that is called header, body, footer. Header, it contains the company information, party information, billing, shipping information, mobile numbers, email ID, GSTN number details, etc. But body, it should contains the item related information like item, item name, quantity, unit, rate, price, GST related. That should be printed into the body section. And footer section, it is the it is a signature section. There you can able to print the signature of the company, bank details of the company, terms and condition of the company, QR code, etc. So this type of three sections, it should comes in the advanced invoices. So there are different types of options are available. Add format means you can create the new format name, modify name. After creation of the format, anytime you can change the name of the format. Page settings menu will be there. Here you can change the page settings. There are various type of settings available. While doing the practical section, let me explain that. Also, I said you that in dual voucher mode, there will be header, subheader also there. Subheader means, so if you are doing any of the like manufacturing industry, that time you're posting any stock journal entries, item consumed and item generated. So that sections are available in stock journal posting time. So that will be printed in subheader portion. One portion is printed in header and another is in subheader. So that type of requirement, if you have, means you can use the subheader concept. And body also there. Body means it should printed only the item related information. Footer information, preview. Also you can see the preview. Anytime you can see the preview. Copy from disk. This will help you to copy the design of the invoice to your PC. So you can take the backup of your invoice design and you can restore that backup into the another busy software. That is called copy to disk. Source computer, you need to take the copy from disk option. You need to select this one. And in a destination busy software, you have to use the copy to disk option to restore that design. So other than this, we have delete option, quit option. You can delete the customized invoice format, advanced design format anytime. Also, that is quit option will be there. These are the options it is available. And page settings. The page settings menu, that page, it contains this much. These are the options. That is number of lines for header, how many lines to be printed in header portion, how many lines that should be printed in on your body portion, and footer portion. Full body space. Full body space means, suppose example, in your invoice you have 4 number of items. So after printing the 4th items, the footer section will be printed. If it is disabled, means if it is no, or if you enable this, or you can make the Y option over here, then if it is 4 item, then also the full page invoices after completion of 29 lines, then only the footer will print. Why it is 29 line? Because number of lines for body after completion of 29 lines, then only the footer will print, because we are using this use full body space option. Other than this, we have ejecting option, printing style, outer box, etc. So let me explain you in detail after the practical session, whenever doing the practical session. So this is the page settings. If we talk about header, the header configuration page will come like this. Here we have various type of print style, fields, load default option, coloring option, etc. And body screen will become like this. Body will contains the 6 type of sections. Item information. The item information will be printed on that section. Subtotal information. So before adding the bill sundry details, there will be subtotal. That information should be printed into that section. Bill sundries information will be printed in bill sundries information section. Grand total information details will be printed in grand total information section. Carry forward, any kind of carry forward, carry over informations will be there. That should be printed in carry over information section. And brought down information will be printed into brought down information section. So these are the body related sections. There will be 6 sections available. Other than that, we have footer section. The footer section, it is come like this. Here also we have the different types of print style, fields, load default, etc. So mainly the footer section is used to print our signature, QR code, terms and conditions, bank details, etc. So the preview of the invoice will become like this. So if you are seeing your invoice preview, that should become like this. Here the XXX, these values are treated as static values. Sorry, dynamic values. Dynamic values means that values will be fetched from the backend busy software data. Whatever the data that contains in software, that field data will be printed into that place. So this is the XXX value, but if you are seeing in preview mode, that should become like this. And the description of goods, HSN of code, quantity, and these are all called as the text field. It means static field. So this is the preview of the invoice, and let us see the practical demonstration about this subject. So first of all, we will open on Busy Software. Here, administration menu, the configuration menu. In that we have invoice document printing option. There will be two type of document designing, standard and advanced. We know that standard is very simple. So in the standard designing concept, you can design invoice, you can configure invoice heading, header info, body, printing options, and footer, bank details, signature details, etc. It's a very simple basic configurations we have here, but advanced is not like that. Advanced is a little bit different from standard. Here we have 4 default formats, that is A5, 3-inch, 4-inch SMS. So if we install the software, then automatically by default we will get these 4 reports within the software itself. But anytime if you want to design any of the new format based on the requirement, you can create the format name by clicking the add format option. So for example, this format name is new. So you can create like a new, or in one more format if you want, means you can create once again click on the add format button. Here you can create the another option, tax invoice. Here you can type the another name of the format. So this type of creation is available. Before I told you that, so in Busy we have dual voucher as well as accounting voucher document design. The dual voucher means the data will be accumulated from accounting, reflected from accounting as well as the inventory. So let me design this sales invoice. So here I'm created one format name called new. So after creation of the format name, you will have the option of page settings. Directly go to the page settings. So here are various type of settings available. For example, number of lines for header, how many lines to be printed into your header, so that you can decide, that you can calculate and put it over here. It is not fixed value. You can change anything you want. For example, if I given here 23 and body will be 29, footer will be 8. Normally by default, this value will come out here. If you want to change the value, you can change it by manually. But one thing you want to you can remember that. So always you can calculate header, body, footer, and it should be equal to 60 lines. More than 60, it's a not happen. You can calculate header, body, footer lines. If it is equal to 60, then it is fine. Otherwise, you can rearrange the values from your end. Other than this, we have the use full body space. If you don't want to print the full body, you want to use the full body, you can enable here. Otherwise, you can disable here. Other than this, we have the eject option. The paper will eject after printing the footer. And number of document per page, how much you require, you can decide. 1, 2, 3, how much you want, you can decide. Busy will have the different types of printing styles: mixed style, courier, all-around, Tahama. These 4 types of printing style available. So you can decide which type of printing style is required. Printer configuration. The common settings we have for the printer configuration in our hardware configuration settings, but you want to set this particular format for one printer and another format is for another printer. So that is possible over here. For example, this format you want to print from HP and another invoice format you want to print it from a Canon. So that you should configure over here. So we have the set printer configuration from format wise. Format wise you can configure. Double body space. I told you that suppose if you are running any of the manufacturing industry, in that you are posting the stock journal entry, then item generated and item consumed, both the sections you want to print it on your invoice, then you can use the double body space. So then both the sections data, it can be printed into the invoice. Or else if you take an example of automobile showrooms, service centers, etc., there sometime what happened, service given, that is the bike service given, and what are the consumables they are used for the bike service, that should be printed into the second section. It is called another section. So that type of requirement, if you have, means you can use the double body space. Landscape mode also you can design. So if you want to design the landscape mode, especially this will help to design your invoice format for the pharma industries. Nature of format. Busy, we have the different types of nature format like printing, email, SMS, spool file, busy BNS, etc. Suppose if you are designing this format for the purpose of email, you should select the email option here. Or you are designing this format for busy BNS, you can select busy BNS. But now I am selecting print. Also, you can enable the page number settings. Then page numbers will be printed into the invoice copy. Footer on last page. Suppose what happened if you have the multiple page invoices, for example, 5 to 6 pages of invoices, then footer will be printed on last page, because each and every page the footer is printing means the page will be waste. So that Busy will have this option called print footer on last page. You can enable if you want. Zero amount items. Sometimes the bill sundry value called labor charges, that value is having the value of 0. So if they're having the 0 value in that bill sundry, if you want to print that 0 amount, you can enable, otherwise you can disable. Then what happened? If it is disabled, the 0 amount bill sundries will not be printed into the invoice. So bill sundry as well as items, both settings we have. This is the item setting, this is the bill sundry settings. Both we have here. So non-impact bill sundry also, if you want to, if you don't want to print, you can disable, otherwise you can enable. And enable item grouping in body printing. This you have here. So on the basis of item group or on the basis of additional field, optional field, scheme basis, you can sort the item while we printing the documents. For example, in a bill, there is 100 number of items information, but same group product, we have 10 numbers. Then all the 10 items will be printed one by one in the document. So that we have the option called item group. While printing the document, automatically Busy will understand the group of the product, then it should be printed into the invoice. So other than this, we have the different types of action called none, eject, blank line, paper cut, semi cut, command, etc. So you can use these features or settings as per your requirement. For example, you are using the thermal roll, small thermal printer. So that contains the roll papers. So after printing the document, if you want to cut the paper, that is paper cut command is, if you want to use, you have the option here, paper cut. You can use this command. Then automatically the paper will cut from the cut after the printing. So this type of different settings available in under the page settings. Also, we have the password setting. It will protect your invoice document, because no other user, they'll modify the document design. So only the admin user they can modify. That is why we have the password protection. So these are the page settings. Also, if you want to print the packing list, we know that packing list, some of the manufacturing industry, if they want to print the packing list in Busy, so that we have the option of packing list also. First of all, you need to enable the packing details option or the inventory menu. Here we have the enable packing details in vouchers. Later you come to the same settings, invoice document printing advanced. Here page settings screen, you will get packing list. So there will be invoice document configuration and packing list configuration, both separately we will get from here. So this type of advanced customization things that is available internally from Busy. So after configure this page setting, directly we will move to the header part. So header part. So here we have the different types of lines and different types of command that we will explain one by one, that we will see. Let us see one by one. So here we have the different types of fonts in busy documents design. Normal font, that is normal font, it should print 80 characters in single line. And CPI font, that font will print 96 characters in single line. As well as condensed font, it will print 136 characters in a single line. So let me show you how it is print in busy. So first of all, I'm adding one field by using the field like a static text. So this is static text. I'm typing the name called company, like a test company. So this is the test company. This is the normal font. Here, normal font, the 80 character, it will print. If you see the preview, that will be print like this. So exactly the 80 characters will print in single line. But if you reduce the font size like 60, then it is not perfect. It is not perfect. So that is why the normal character will support only 80 characters in a single line. Or if I'm using the CPI font, this is called CPI font. This is another font. It should print 96 characters. You can note down the value. CPI font will support 96 characters. Then only A4 print that configuration is match. If you are changing this font characters like 96 to 120, something like that, then A4 size, that configuration is going to mismatch. As you seen on my screen, the screen is that alignment is not okay. So this type of font available in busy. So other than this, we have one more font called condense on. So that is called condense on. You can use the condense on before the static or dynamic data. You have to use the condense on font, and after the dynamic or static data, you have to close the condense off. That's off the condense command. So this is the way you need to use the different fonts. So condense means it is a compressed font. So it will print, it will support, it can support on up to 136 characters. As you seen on my screen, this is the 136 characters. So these are the different fonts. So other than this, we have another three font like font 18, font 15, etc. Let me show you. So this is the font. You can just press the F4 shortcut key over here, and you can use the font 18. Again, press the F4 shortcut key. You can use the font 18 off. Next, you see the preview. This is a big font, and it can support up to 66 characters. 66 character, not 60 characters. 60 characters. 60 or 50. Okay, 55. Yeah, 55 characters. Sorry, 55 characters. And another font will be that is called font 15. And this font 15 will support almost 66 characters. So these are 66 characters font. 66 characters it can support in this font 15 font. So these are the different types of font. So next, let us see some of the lines, different types of lines command. First of all, BLVA, box line vertical A. So here you see that this command, box line vertical A, means auto. This command is used for the vertical line. And here you see that the vertical line is coming like this. So you want to add one more line over here. For example, you are adding horizontal line command, BLH full. This is the horizontal full command. Now you see that the BLVA, that line, that command is get automatically rearranged from here. Why? Because I am using that command called BLVA, box line vertical automatic. Automatic means the command is automatically adjusted. That line is automatically adjusted from top to bottom. That is called BLVA. This is the command. And another is command will be there vertical, for the vertical line purpose, that is called full, box line vertical full, F. That line will be printed from top to bottom for full line. If you have this command blhf below on that, then also the full line only comes. Why? Because this is the full command. And another command that is full auto. Okay. And next, let us talk about another parameter called horizontal lines. This is the horizontal lines command, blha. The blha command will be like this. This is a box line horizontal auto. So that command will be printed like this. If I'm using this blh full means full line, then also it'll be printed like this only. Or if I using the command blh right, this one, blh right or left. Left means left alignment, right means right alignment. So this is the blhr command. Here you see that the line is started from right, blhr. R means right alignment. If I'm using here left, then it should be started from left, from the left. These are the different types of commands that should be useful for our line adding purpose. So these are the lines. Let us see some of the fields. The busy, we have the two types of field called static field, dynamic field. Static field, that is called as text field. You can add the text as for your requirement, any text it may be. It is a text field. What are the text field? What is the text field you are adding by your side? That will be printed into the invoice. But dynamic field is not like that. That value will be fetched from the backend busy data field. For example, the GSTN of the party, PAN number of the party, item rate, that all are called as dynamic field. So this type of fields available. And other important field, that is bold, italic, underline. So bold means if you want to bold any name, you have to use press the F4 shortcut key, then select the command called bold on. Again, you press the command called bold off. Once we are using the bold on and the bold off is we are not selected or used here, then what happened? You will get the error message while we are preview the data. So the bold, if the bold on is used, then compulsory we need to use the bold off, that after the data field. So that is very important point. So now I am using the bold on, bold off command here. Then you can see that test company, it is printed as bold. Now you want to move this test company in middle, that is called alignment. So here you see that the left alignment was used. That is why the test company is printing from left. If I'm using the central C means central, then test company is printing in middle. Or if I am using in right R, then what happened? Test company is printed from the right side of the invoice. So this type of alignment settings, that is very useful for our customization work. So you need to remember these points. First thing is field selection. Next is alignment selection. And I told you that font character size for condensed it is 136, normal is 80, CPI it is 96, font 15 66, font 18 56, 55. This type of important points you need to make a note of that. So after that, I told you something like lines, vertical line, horizontal line, adding commands, BLVA, BLVF, BLHL, BLH right, BLHA, BLHF. You need to remember this point. So after this, you will see some of the other points called italic. How to add the italic? You can keep the cursor here because this is the data field. This is the static data field. You need to keep the cursor over here. Then you press the F4 shortcut key. Then you select the UL1, underline one. There are various type of data print style available. print style available, you can select the required print style from the list. I selected underline on here. Again, I press the F4 shortcut key and I selected underline off. Then the underline will become like this. Or if you want to add the coloring, then what you have to do, you have to press the F4 shortcut button. Then you can select the color on. Here you can remove the underline. Then you press the F4. Again you select the color off. Here the color on value is showing that 0. You can select the color code here from using the pick color option. Here we have the pick color option. Then you want to print the color like a name as in a red color or blue color, whatever it is. You can select the color, then press the OK button. One color code is generated from the box as you seen on my screen. You can copy the color code and paste that color code from here. Then you see the preview. The test company is printing like this. So these are the very important points. And so next is image. You want to add any kind of image. Then you keep the cursor from here. Then you press the F4 button. Again, you select the image button. Here you select the path of the image. For example, I have one image from here. So I have the image in my folder called CSV. You have to select the path of the image like this. This is the path of the image. Copy that image path, paste the path over here, and you can set the height and width of the image. How much height, how much width you want, you can enter or specify here. Then you can see the image of the logo image. So this is the image adding option. Or if you want to add the QR code or something like that, then what you have to do, you have to press the F4 button. Then you select the QR code field, QR code print style. Here, for example, if you want to scan the QR code of the company website, there is two types of QR code available: static QR code and dynamic QR code. To scan the QR code of your company website, then what you have to do, you have to use the static QR code. The static QR code you have to type over here. For example, the static QR code that is called, so this is the static QR code. Instead of F, you can type the T. T means that is static QR code. I can remove this one. T is the static QR code command that is called a manipulation field. Then it is your website. After that, you can see the preview. That QR code will become like this. Or you want to give some space or something like that, you can press enter button. Then you can see the preview. This will become like this. After scanning this QR code, automatically that busy.in website will be open. So this is the QR code command. Or we have one more QR code command called dynamic QR code. That for that you have to use the code called F you have to use. Otherwise you have to press the F4 shortcut key. Then you can use the QR code field or print style. Here you can specify the format name. So how to do the how to enter the format name? For that you have to create one more format, like payment. There's a payment QR code, for example. You can create one new format name. Then you can go to the header portion, press the F4 button, or else you have one payment gateway UPI. So this is the example. This is the payment gateway UPI. You can paste over here. Then come back to the new format. Here you can press the F4, select the print style QR code. Then here remove the format name. Then you can type the payment. This is the size of the QR code. Okay. And this QR code is called as dynamic QR code. It means the data will be fetched from the software backend field. For example, the invoice value is 1000 rupees, means that 1000 rupees will be automatically encoded in this QR code. So after the scanning of the QR code, automatically that PhonePe or Google Pay that application is shown the value of 1000 rupees. That type of dynamic QR code configuration is possible from Busy. So other than this, let me show you how to design the new format. So for that, we have the load default option. If you want to design new format from your side from starting onwards, so you need to create one new format name called like anything, it may be new test or anything it may be. You can create the name like this. So after that, you can do the page settings, whatever the settings that I already explained you have to do such settings from here. Then you can go to the directly you can go to the header. So this is the header portion. Now it is completely blank. Here you can use the load default option. The load default option, it is a very useful utility to design your invoice formats, because automatically the Busy will load all the default values, whatever the values that is you required. Only that is minor corrections or minor configurations or minor changes that you should do from your end. Other than that, all will do the software. So here you see that all the default values automatically fetched from here. What on what basis it should be fetched from here? Let me explain you. So on the basis of standard configuration, standard invoice configuration settings, so that values will be come here. So now you see here the preview of this header portion. Billing, shipping details, invoice information, company information, everything is printed like this. Now you don't want this billing, shipping details. What you have to do, you have to go to the invoice document designing standard format and select the sales invoice designing. Here you can disable the shipping billing details. So the purpose is in the standard designing, if you are not using this billing, shipping details, then while we are using that default value loading option, then this will be not come over there. Let me show you. So after disabling this billing, shipping details, once again you can click on this load default, and let me show you the preview of that. Here you can see that only party details and invoice information is printing like this, because I disabled that billing, shipping details from my standard configuration settings. The thing here is, any settings if you are disabling in your standard designing configuration, that time while we are doing the while we are using the load default option, it is not come here. So this is the basic concept of load default. So now I am designing this particular field as per our requirement. For example, if you want to use the load default, you can use it like this, or else you can fully customize one by one line from your end. That is also possible. So let me remove the entire things and let me show you how to enter the how to add the one by one styles and fields from your side. For example, if you want to use the CPI font, you can press the F4 button, then you select the CPI on this one, and you want to bold the font, you can use the bold F4, and you can use the bold on. Again, you can use the bold off, and here also you can use the F4 CPI 12 off. Then in between you can type the company name, that is use the Alt F4 shortcut key, or else you can use the field available. Here you can select the company name, that field is available, company name. You can select the company name and you can specify the characters of the CPI 12 font. 96 is the character, this will be the company name. Here the company name is print, and next line you can add the GST number, or else you can copy the same thing over here and remove this one and delete that one, and again you press the Alt F4 for print, Alt F4 for fields available. Here you can select the GSTN of the party, that you can scroll down, company GSTN number, add it here. Also you can specify the characters of the font. If you want to centralize the alignment, you can centralize it. And the GST number, company number is over. Let me enter phone number. That is, you can use the same line once again and you can paste over here. Then you can use the static field called text field by pressing the Alt F4 button. Alt F4 button. Here we have the static field, static text, and you can type the name called mobile number or phone number. Character is almost 10 characters. It's enough. And it's a centralized. Okay. Then you can press the Alt F4 once again. And here you can select the mobile number, company telephone number. Here you can define 86 character. Why? Because here already we are using 10 characters. Remaining will be 86. 86 plus 10 is 96. Other than this, if you want to add the color, you can use the color code, color on, color off. So these are the field available. Then you can add the GST invoice type if you want. Duplicate, triplicate, quadruplicate, etc. So next is if you want to add the document like okay, now we will see the preview of that invoice. The preview is coming like this. Preview is coming like this. The mobile number you want to print middle, then what you have to do, you have to keep the cursor here, then you can press the Alt F4, use the blank space. Here you can type the 50 characters, then you can reduce the character like 50 plus 60, 50 plus 10 is 60, remaining is 70, 80, 90, 36. You can add specify 36 here. Then the mobile number is come like this, or else you can reduce the size as 40. Now the mobile number is coming exactly middle. Then you want to add one line. Then what you have to do, you have to use the BLH full. This command you have to use to add the line like this. After that, you can use the bold on, bold off, or whatever it is, like party address printing. Control V, copy the same line and paste it here. Then you can use the command called Alt F4, and same static text. Here you can type the party details, 96 characters. If you want to add the underline, you can use F4, underline on, underline off, then come back, Alt F4. Here you can search the party name, build a party name, select the party name. So this type of customization that you need to do by your end. So otherwise you have to load the default values. Otherwise you have to load the default values. So this type of settings that comes with the software. So after that, you can save the configuration. Next, you can see the preview like this. So this is the preview of the customization. Now the company name is printing like N. You want to change the company name, you can again go to the header. You can type the company name. For example, the company name is Test Company. Type the company name, then that will be printed like this. So this type of customization is available. After that, you can save the coding. Next, come to the body portion. Here also there will be 6 sections available. You can use the load default here also. So low default, you want to change any kind of minor or any kind of changes, you can do from here. Next, you come to the footer section, press the low default and save the low default value. Now the exact invoice is coming like this. Or you want to remove the CGST, SGST, these columns you want to remove, then you can remove from body. Here you want only the serial number, item print name, HSN code, quantity, unit, price. Next is CGST. This is not required. Let me remove this. And here you can add the new field called GST percentage. Only you want the GST percentage or GST amount. You can add the GST percentage. Another is GST amount. Also, you can add one line command, that is a vertical line, LVA. This command you need to add from here. So now the preview is coming like this. So you want to increase the item name, you can increase the characters, then item name will be increased. Or you want to reduce the GST amount, this one. You want to reduce the character, you can reduce it. Same way you need to configure it from header portion as well. The header portion also you can remove the CGST, SGST and all those things. Here also you can do the characters of item is 40. Remove the CGST, SGST, these parameters. Is amount. Press Alt F4 and select the static text. Here you can type it as GST percentage. Then you can press Alt F4 again, once again, Alt F4. Select the static text. Type it as GST amount. So next you can save the configuration. Then you see the preview. It will become like this. Now the description, HSN, quantity, unit price, GST percentage, amount, GST amount, everything is printing. So the line here XXX is coming means it's a dynamic data, and also the some space is coming, spaces they are coming. Why? Because we have to adjust the page settings here, because as you see here, that is header portion, it contains the lines up to 21 lines. The line number is 21. The last line, it is 21 lines. Here totally 21 lines is there, but here I mentioned like 23. You need to reduce the line, 2 lines. Then 21 plus 29 is 40, 50, totally 58. You can increase the body lines, that is 29 to 31. You can increase this. Then how much it is? 31 plus 21 is 52 plus 8, 60 exactly. Now it is correct. After that you can see the preview. Now it is exactly matching. So this type of customization you can do from your end. Very small command or field you have to use. It's very easy. By practice it you can do more effectively. Initially it will a little bit difficult, but day by day, if you while you are doing your practice, then it is very simple. So these are the different types of commands, fonts and utilities that should be available in Busy. So also I told you that QR code, blank space, etc. So this is the subject, and apart from that, if you had any query, you can chat, you can put the message in chat box, Q&A section. So we have some of the question and answers slide here. That is, can we design advanced invoice format for any page? Yes, we can design the advanced invoice format any page, whether it is A4, A5, 3-inch, 4-inch, anything it may be. You can add the required field from your side. All the data field, all the print style available in Busy. Can we design advanced invoice format in landscape mode? Yes, in Busy we can design invoice format in any mode, whether it is landscape or portrait. So that landscape and portrait, that setting is available in page settings screen. So you can decide that which type of format you require. On that basis, you can enable the landscape or portrait. What image formats does Busy support? JPG format it can support. Can we print the UPI QR code in invoice from Busy software? Certainly you can print from Busy. We have the QR code printing option as well. Further, if you had any query regarding this customization or invoice designing, you can call to our help desk team 8282828282. Also, you can write your requirement to email ID that is called support@busy.in. So thank you so much for attending the webinar.